Hello, this is Lorena, and I'm back with another Duel Links video. In this video, I will continue with this story, but before I get there, I just want to, I'm actually curious, like, what got me started on the Mars stuff again? I think I accidentally brought up a topic I shouldn't have, but anyway, Mars in 4th house is just it's not a very good placement for Mars, but I think given my current circumstances, it could be beneficial overall. Might actually help me, considering I have sensitive Pisces ruling my 4th house. You might think I have Mars. If you know anything about astrology, you might think I have Mars in Pisces, but you see, astrology is more complex than just sun signs, as I explained when I referred to Chaz as a Leo sun. I did go into the description about that, so I don't think that anyone would know based on a video of watching me. I went into the description for that one, so yeah. But in any case, I can't remember which video this was. I just remember going into astrology in one video in the description. Why? I don't know. I can't remember, but I love astrology. It's one of my special interests, and I just love it. And now I do realize that not everyone believes in it, obviously. And as I said, if you're a skeptic, I am not here to convince you. I am not here to get you to believe. And any astrology skeptic that ventures into territory where I'm discussing astrology or other people are discussing astrology, skeptics shouldn't go to those spaces. And now you may not be here for the astrology, but while I was discussing astrology, I was still dueling, so there's still that. But, I mean, astrology does work for me, as I've explained in previous videos, which is why I believe that it's valid. Though, unfortunately, it's not something that I can just tell you. It's a very complicated subject. It's usually a lifelong study. When you study astrology, you usually study it for life because it's so complex and complicated, and you can't really attribute anything to a single placement. You have to consider the entire chart as a whole. Yeah, even though I said that Chaz is the most stereotypical Leo sun I have ever seen, there's probably still plenty of other placements in his chart that would kind of deviate from that a bit. I assume that, I can't say it. Okay, anyway. I mean, really, I think Chaz would have something in Cancer if I could look at a chart of him. I can't, obviously, but, I mean, he could have Mercury there. I think I would be bullshitting myself to think that is actually true. I mean, if anyone knows what Mercury means. Mercury is generally how you think and communicate and things like that. That is not Chaz at all. I think Chaz actually has Mercury in Leo. And if anyone doesn't, and since most people probably don't know this, Mercury is so close to the sun that you can't have Mercury in any sign that's 45 degrees from your sun, because that's how close to the sun Mercury is. This means that you can't have. This means that Chaz wouldn't be able to have Mercury in Sagittarius because that's too far from his sun sign. He can only have Mercury in Leo, Cancer, or Virgo. I'm going to assume he doesn't have Mercury in Virgo, but maybe he does. I don't know, but the assumption is, well, kind of a dumb assumption, to be honest. But I just think it's in Leo because that fits his ego. It fits his ego, yeah, sure. Anyway, it could be in Cancer. I don't know. I haven't tried making a chart for him, seriously. There really is no way to make a chart that's accurate for any of these characters because they're fictional, generally. And there is no chart that can be completely accurate based on that information. You're given birthdays for the DM cast, the GX cast, I think 5Ds as well. But after 5Ds, the birthdays stop. Unfortunately, for my astrology obsessed ass. But anyway, if I were to make any astrology chart for these characters, it would be headcanon based. And honestly, anyone that likes astrology would probably criticize those. And they'd probably be like, makes no sense because of this or that reason. And I'd just be sitting here like, dude, I'm making astrology charts for fictional characters. I can't tell you if they're accurate or not. It's not like I get to know their entire life. Just some of it. Millennium Ring Memories, Monster World. Yuki, I will use this shadow game to take your Millennium Puzzle. Let's begin the game. I chose my character. I have figures for each of your characters. Wow. Wow. You must have spent a lot of time on them. These figures look exactly like us. Joey, I think that's a problem. You play the 4 heroes that vow to defeat the evil Dark Master Zork. Got it. Let's go storm Zork's castle. So you're the 4 fools who dare oppose my rule. I've tricked you into entering this forest of fear from which there is no escape. Who are you? Oh my, the young lad is transforming into Dark Master Zork. Zork, you are completely defenseless from the surprise attack. Guys, this is basically a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. I think this is hilarious because I have never played that game. I have never played Dungeons and Dragons, but I've heard what sessions are like, and this is basically pretty similar to what I read when I hear about them. And Yami Bakura is the DM right now, which means, oh my god. Zork has initiative. Rolling the dice to determine Zork's hit rate. Anyone convinced yet that this is basically Dungeons and Dragons? 0-0. Super critical. Not as super critical. Oh god. Okay, sorry. You may want to remember that I play more than one card game. Zork's Shadow Blast will strike a player, and that player is Taya, because I'm an asshole DM. Mind dull. I don't think Yami Bakura is the worst asshole DM, but she's definitely one of them. That's one. Her mind is now trapped inside a figure. You're next, Yugi. Bakura, what did you do to Taya? Don't worry. Taya is alive in this game world. But what happened to me? Why is everyone up there? Taya has been turned into a figure. Dungeons and Dragons Shadow Game version. Yugi, you're the last one left. Yeah, Yugi's the last one left, alright. Roll the dice, Yugi. Ugh. Before I do, transform my soul into a figure. What? I want to fight alongside my friends. If everyone has to risk their lives, I will too. The game master must do his best to fulfill the player's... Wow. The game master must do his best to fulfill the player's wishes. Very well, Yugi. With this, the game is over. Not yet. Not yet. Every player has been turned into a figure. Since I'm the game master, I win. Not so fast, Yami Bakura. Have you forgotten? What? Oh, he did. He did. I was in the middle of a battle, so I rolled my dice. I attack Zork. 0-3. That's a hit. Thunder Exploder. I blast away Zork's left arm. It's the other Yugi. This is the first time we're getting to meet face to face. Because you risked your life to help our friends. That courage has brought us to this moment. Okay, I assume he's talking to Yugi. And that's the only person he could be talking to be honest. You're the one who lives inside the Millennium Puzzle. Let's continue our game. The game I will win, of course. Okay, well, I may not know anything about Dungeons and Dragons, but a pretty much full confirmation there from Bakura himself. Well, Yami Bakura, but, you know, who's asking the questions here anyway? I had to play one more ranked duel to get that currency out of the way. I already have all the stamps, so I'm good there. I could just duel as Yugi instead. No? Okay. Well, to be fair, I do pretty well as Zane. Surprisingly. I wasn't quite sure if I would. I lose more than Zane does, but on the other hand, I'm still kicking a lot of ass, and YouTube is here to make that quite obvious with its default thumbnails. You know, the ones that are generated when a video is uploaded. A lot of those give me a bunch of Zane wins, and I know that this includes the rank duels because I just uploaded a bunch of them. Okay, so I assume... Ugh, we both want to go... Wait a minute, hold on. Please tell me I'm going second, please. I don't think I am I? Oh, God. Okay, thank God I am. So, I assume that Joey wouldn't like doing Sora either. Just saying. It seems to be the case. He had some problems doing Bakura. And Sora's deck is just as creepy as Quattro's, except what? Except instead of puppets and dolls, it's stuffed animals. Possessed stuffed animals. So anyway, I had canon that Sora is into Five Nights at Freddy's. I had canon that because I've seen some thumbnails and reminds me of Sora's deck. So that's why I'm saying it. You know, I know a surprising amount about horror considering I don't really watch a lot of it. I don't play a lot of it. I don't read a lot of it. But my nightmares, man. But you know, I've come to see value in nightmares, considering one of them is probably more healing than just a normal dream. Even though it was a nightmare, I feel like it gave me something to think about when it comes to the fact I hate being judged. Yeah, I hate being judged and I hate when my subjective reality is hated on, but that dream is like, so, you hate that, do you? Well, imagine this. You're experiencing a bunch of shit, but you're the only one that gets to see it. Basically, you aren't actually hallucinating, but no one's going to believe you because you're experiencing this all subjectively. That was the basic idea behind the nightmare, and what I took away from it is I'm not terrified because of my subjective experiences all the time, but if I was, then no one believing me would mean I have no protection, and having no protection would mean whatever terror is harming me, if it's not a hallucination and it's real and I get actually harmed, the ridicule of the public would be the least of my concerns. But that's just right. That's just what I'm saying. Oh, Labyrinth of Nightmare doesn't affect Wild Heart because Wild Heart isn't affected by I am going to destroy this person over here. Yugi would never say that. Jaden wouldn't either unless it was the Supreme King, but the Supreme King is maxed out. So is Jaden. All of them. But, you know, that's why I had to switch characters. I'm doing pretty well as Zane. I wasn't sure if I would be because of my weird deck making. I just make weird decks. And my deck building is sus, but I have gotten a lot of wins. So many wins, in fact, that I just think it's funny when people surrender. I think we can pretty much say that there have been enough surrenders that I'm playing Zane probably is the reason for some of those surrenders. Maybe not all of them, but there is a bit of credibility given to that possibility because so many people have surrendered now. And I've recorded a lot of them. So you guys know this. Okay, Anyway. I'm not normally as terrified of Zane, but I do know that he gets a lot of one-turn kills. Which is probably the reason for the surrenders, because they don't want to be one turn killed. I wonder if these same people surrender against Kite. I should... I really have no reason, though, to see if Kite would be given similar treatment. Because Kite is at the max level. When that level is... I actually have a theory that the cap will be increased to what it's... It will be increased... I had a theory that it would be increased to 40 during Rio's event, but I no longer believe this because the 5Ds is currently capped at level 40, and why would you increase the cap in Zexal World to 40 without increasing the cap? Wait a minute, hold on a second, that made no sense. No, okay, we're going to ignore whatever I was going to say because it was dumb. The 5D's world is capped at level 40, so it's fine to raise the cap with Zexal World to 40, but I think it's actually more likely that this world is going to get uncapped to level 40 first. Or is it? I don't know the order of the worlds. Was Darkside Dimensions World added first, or was Zexal World? I don't know. I wasn't here for that. I wasn't here for either release. But I was here for the release of Arc 5 World. And will be here for the release of Vrain's World. I assume I will be here for no other world releases. But I do wonder what they'll do after Vrain's World is released. And I wonder how they'll handle it. I think Konami just makes me want to get therapy on a constant basis because I don't expect it to give me anything I want. I should just stick to what is realistic and just not want anything more. I'll be more sane that way. I'll be more sane that way. Okay, sure. Anyway, when Zexal World has its cap increased, you can bet I'm going to start bringing out the characters that I want to use, but I know there are caps, so I don't feel like there's much point in using a character that's at a capped level, unless they are at level 45 and they don't have all their skills. Kaiba Darkside Dimensions World is an exception because he has all his skills. And I believe there's actually another one that's also does. And is it at level 45? The fact I don't remember is interesting, and dude, I think Zane has no wait. Actually, yeah, he does. He's not at level 45 yet, but he's getting pretty close. Okay, how fast can I defeat Bakura? Let's see. I think after this, I should stop recording, but it's anyone's guess if I actually will. I'm just saying, this is now day 2 of the event, but I've... Actually, hold on a second. I'm gonna have to check the event again. And no, I'm actually pretty confident that this is as far as I can get without farming, and I don't need a farm on screen. I can do some farming on screen, though. I just don't want to do too much of it on screen because that gets kind of repetitive. A bunch of players or a bunch of people are just sitting here like, you just said you maxed out Jaden, all of them, but you're going to talk about repetition when you're still using his cards. Yes I am. I mean, Jaden didn't give two shits, so why should I? I think Jaden gave even less shits. I do not have the luxury of giving less shits. My brain just gets too... Okay. Sure, Bakura, sure. Anyway, I've got the kind of personality that cares too much. And that is a problem. And that's kind of why I'm in the situation I'm in now. Because I care, because I've thought about others more than myself, which has resulted in this starting to backfire. Now, it kind of backfired with Jaden, but in a different way. Because he's not like me. He cares about himself, and also he has a lot of confidence. I mean, sure, after season 3, Yubel kind of destroyed some of it. But, I mean, he got it back. And it's not like his confidence and his dueling abilities went down. It's completely different people with different situations. But, yeah, I do care about myself. It's just... I've been through shit, and sometimes I feel... I mean, when you have depression, the mental health variant, by the way, the one that doesn't go away with therapy, the one that will probably never go away, it's just... That's just how things are. I'm probably not going to have the most confidence at any point, but I also feel like you really shouldn't have too much. There's a healthy amount. There's the healthy amount, and then there's the amount that's you're too full of yourself. Stop. Yeah, I'm sure that's probably a reason some people don't like Chaz. But I am immune to everyone else's personal preferences, and I have my own. And no one cares. Okay, give me a second to check this. I said I need to actually... What are the cumulative rewards? Is it easier to finish this? It actually is. I was curious because the last rerun I did was pretty easy to max out. I think this was Anna's. Yeah, it was Anna's. But I already had the title for hers. I thought that was why it was easier, but actually it's just easier with reruns to get the title. I could have gotten the title during Bakura's first event. Because again, I probably could have just used boosters for it. But now, I mean, I just did Jim's event. I was fine without boosters. So I guess I'd save the boosters for Rio now. I have no issues with this. And that's going to wrap things up for this video, guys. I will see everyone in the next video.